Hello everyone and welcome back to another build. So today we're going to be doing a cool build. It's just a War Cleric Rogue. We'll get more into why this multi-class exists. If you know what War Cleric does, you probably understand where I'm getting at here. But yeah, we're mostly going to be a rogue, so we really need to be an elf so we can get Elven Accuracy, so we can really hit on that one attack that's going to do massive damage and potentially two. So we're going to go with an elf here. And an actual just 2024 elf. I know I've been Shatterkai all the time, but we really need to pick up this cantrip, True Strike, and we need to be able to use it with wisdom, not with intelligence. So that is why I really think it's important to pick this to be a normal elf, because you also want alert since we're going to be maxing out dex. However, if you really want to be a Shatterkai, you can just take Magic Initiate instead of the alert feat as your free feat. And this would let you be able to take True Strike as a wisdom-based attack. But the reason we need wisdom is because we're multi-classing into War Cleric, so wisdom's going to be important stat. Technically, you could give yourself like a 13 wisdom and then maybe dump con a little bit and go for int, but I don't think that's worth it. But yeah, we can play around with the race there, but basically we need to get True Strike, and we're going to be hitting it with wisdom. So usually whenever you're playing a rogue, for the most part, I'd highly recommend just starting as a rogue. You get a lot more stuff, like you get an extra skill, I think, and expertise if you start off as a rogue instead of multi-classing into a rogue. So yeah, we're going to do level 1 rogue. I would get stealth, acrobatics, perception, and insight since we have wisdom based and of course dex based. For expertise, I would double stealth and acrobatics. For weapon masteries, I would probably get any vex weapon you can. Basically, later on in this build, if you did the Magic Initiate way, you already have the spell, but we're going to be getting Find Familiar, and this will grant us advantage on our first attack. So then, with Vex, we'll have perpetual advantage as long as the Familiar doesn't die round 1 and can give us advantage one time. And with Elven Accuracy, assuming that you don't miss, because that's the point. And of course, we'll get Sneak Attack. So this would give us more damage, 1d6 at this level, and then it keeps going up like every 2 rogue levels. And we're always going to have advantage, well, later on in the build at least, so this will help out a lot. We're going to keep going rogue. Level rogue 2, you get Cunning Action. You can use your bonus action to either dash, disengage, and hide. This will be useful, at least at this level. Just to be able to use it for hiding, just so you can stay out of sight. We don't have our medium armor efficiency and all the bonuses we get going cleric yet, so this is helpful. I'm going to highly recommend we go Arcane Trickster at level 3. This is going to give us a plethora of spells to choose from. Mostly we're going to be choosing spells that don't matter about our spell save DC because we have a low int. So Find Familiar, Shield, Silvery Barbs, great spells that doesn't impact at all what our intelligence modifier is. I also get Steady Aim at this level, so if for some reason your Familiar died or didn't make it to a combat, you can use a bonus action, give yourself advantage, and then you'll have perpetual advantage because of using a Vex weapon. And also, I'm not sure if I made this clear, you're using True Strike as your attack every single time, just so you can deal radiant damage. Okay. Now go, and you can get some cantrips. Blade Ward's good. You can spam cast Blade Ward before any combat since it's a concentration check, and that'll help you with some survivability because at this point your armor class you can only wear, I think, like light armor, so it's not the best. But that's going to change now with at least one level into cleric. We're going to get shield proficiency and medium armor proficiency. So now we can wear medium armor and wear shield, and this is going to help out a lot with our survivability. And in conjunction with shield, we are going to have a high AC for mostly a rogue. Now, spells. Guidance is always great. Resistance, Soul of the Dead could be good. Spirit of Dying, kind of pick your favorite here. First level spells, you can maybe the Healing Ward's good if you need to, just in case you need to get an ally up. Bless is going to be your best spell if you can cast it before combat starts. Only before. I would never waste the first turn of combat taking Bless, in my opinion. Inflict Wounds could be good if you have advantage from Vex's weapon attack. If you still have somehow advantage and you're right there, Inflict Wounds could be good, but for the most part, you're gonna be better off just doing your weapon attack, because you'll be able to apply sneak attack to that, where you can't apply it to Inflict Wounds. Sanctuary's interesting. It's a bonus action spell, and basically, as long as you haven't hit, you have to make a Wisdom save to even hit you. It could be a good spell, but it's situational. And yeah, make sure you put on medium armor and a shield now, and combined with the shield spell, you're very tanky for mostly a ranged character. And of course, you could be in melee at this point, especially with this AC, and True Strike goes on both melee and ranged weapons. And I think up here I said to pick both Vex weapons for either, if I remember correctly. Yep, a short sword and a hand crossbow. So pick and choose what you want. I would obviously staying range is going to be better. But we need 2 more levels in Cleric so we can get the subclass. So we're going to keep on going. In Cleric, level 2, you don't get much. We'll just get more spell slots. And as a magic action, you can deal radiant necrotic damage and then make a con save or take half. It's all right. We're not going to... Maybe you can use it at this level, but going forward, we're going to have another use for our... what's it called? The Channel Divinity. So here we go. Level 3. The reason why we did this 3-level dip in the first place. The shield and proficiency in the armor was great, but the reason we're here is to take the War Cleric subclass. Of course, we get 2nd level spells. I would get Prayer of Healing, Science, Aid, Lesser Restoration, great spells. Remember, when I say get, like, you can prepare any of the spells you want. So these are the highlights in level 2, in my opinion. But the reason we're here is for War Priest. So this is cool. Guided Strike is probably what you would want to use for your Channel Divinity. If you miss, you could add a +10, so which is really good. But War Priest is why we're here. So Rogue, how sneak attack works is you can only apply the damage once per turn, not round, turn. So the tactic going forward is that you're going to use the War Priest ability, which is based on your Wisdom modifier. That's why I said it's very important that we get that 16 in Wisdom, and we need to use our spellcasting as Wisdom. So we're going to use War Priest on rounds that you want to deal a lot of damage, like a boss fight. Is you only get this Wisdom modifier times per short rest. So at least it's per short rest. We're going to use our bonus action to make a weapon attack, and then we'll have advantage, hopefully, with a familiar. And because of Vex, our next attack will automatically have advantage. And so then you would hit with advantage, triple advantage, and you apply your sneak attack damage and do a bunch of damage. And with True Strike damage, because we're using True Strike. Then you're going to use your action to hold your action to attack again on someone else's turn. Doing this will allow you to then do sneak attack damage twice per round, which is very helpful. Unfortunately, this does burn your reaction, so you can't use something like shield that round, but that's why we're going to be from range. And you can only do this 3 times per short rest, so the shield and stuff still going to come in handy on off turns that you're not using this tactic. But this tactic right here is basically going to get you 2 sneak attack damage dice whenever you need it, which is great. And this is at level 6, so this build is really good at low levels, and it scales higher, of course, because of sneak attack damage. And I like that taking Arcane Trickster with this basically gives you more spell slots to use more of the spells that you have access to. So I think it's a really good combination. So this build is complete level 6. So what are the tactics here? Like I said, we're going to use the familiar to gain the help action. Then you're going to use the War Priest to make an additional attack with the hand crossbow or short sword, but I would highly prefer that you're ranged. You trigger the sneak attack damage, then you hold your action, and then you do it again. And this time you're going to use True Strike because before it says you have to make a weapon attack. So there's going to be differentiating here. Hopefully later on you can get some magic weapon for when you face creatures that have like resistance or whatnot, if they do. And yeah, And then what I would do is I would concentrate on Bless or Shield of Faith. Hopefully getting these are 10-minute casts. Bless is a minute, but I think Shield of Faith lasts 10 minutes. I would try to get these up before combat for something good to concentrate on, or Blade Ward if you want to concentrate on something that's going to help with your AC. And yeah, that's the summary of the build. So let's talk a little bit about tactics going forward. Pretty much said all this already. Future progressions here. So this build is done right now, but how I would focus on this build is just going rogue the rest of the way. Maybe take that 4th level in cleric if you want to boost like wisdom or something, but or give yourself a feat. But there's really no feats, or there's really no I can't really think of any feats you would really need for this build. You kind of have everything you need at level 6, other than buffing your stats. Usually I'm not one to say this, but I think your best bet will just be like Elven Accuracy. I'm so sorry. I forgot we haven't taken a level 4 level. Well, we're gonna take Elven Accuracy, boost that Dex to 18, and then from there, I think your best bet is just buffing Wisdom to 18, and then Dex to 20, and then Wisdom to 20, because you're going to be using a combination of. You're mostly going to be using True Strike. So maybe at the beginning here, we change the stats in hindsight. We make it a 17 Wisdom and a 16 Dex. And because technically, for the most part, you're going to be using True Strike more than you're going to be using your bonus action weapon attack. So yeah, you probably want to focus more on Wisdom. So yeah, I would definitely switch that around. I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, what's cool is even though you get spells very slowly as an Arcane Trickster, you might get something like Shadow Blade, and Shadow Blade will probably be really good if you're in darkness or dim light, just because it guarantees you advantage without having to do anything, and then each attack does an additional 3d8. So, I mean, you'll probably get that at Rogue 7, so character level 11 or 12. At that point, I think True Strike, it's comparable, so yeah, it's probably not worth it. But it's just make sure that when you're picking spells with Arcane Trickster, you pick spells that don't have that your spell save DC doesn't matter. I would highly recommend to stay ranged. And yeah, you're just a rogue that could do a bunch, like 2 sneak attack damages in a round. And I think this build is really cool. I would definitely play this in a campaign, and hopefully one day I'd get to be able to play this. But there's so many builds I want to play in the damn campaign that I don't think I'll ever make it to it. But yeah, that's the video. I really hope you enjoyed this. This whole document right here and the character sheet to this character is going to be in the Discord and a link below. And yeah, please join the Discord, like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.